Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zach Moonshine with Metal Devastation Radio, and right now on the phone with me I have Steve Asheim from the band Deicide. Steve, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, Zach? Thanks for having me on, brother.
Hey, man, we're doing great. So the new record, dude, is fucking awesome, man. I love it, man. Tell us about it. What's going on in you guys' world, man?
Thanks a lot for that, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, the record just came out, and it's doing pretty good around the world, chart positioning and stuff like that. So it's very exciting time, And like I said, we put out a few videos for a few songs on the record, which have been going over pretty well. People have been, having good reactions to it and digging it. And we're going out to play Milwaukee Metal Fest next weekend. And we're going to do a couple new songs there live for that, and then I think after that on the way back south we're hitting Louisville, Kentucky, where we'll be playing a full set and continuing some tours the rest of the year. A lot going on. Like I said, the new album being generally well liked, it's stirring up a lot of action out there.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. I mean, just hearing you say fucking Deicide's in the charts, man, like that's, I've been listening to you guys since the first record, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking badass, man. It's about time,
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, like they say, college radio, there's charts for that. We moved up to number 2, which is amazing. I think German charts, we started at number 16, and on the Polish charts, album charts, we're at number 5, like the main music stuff. So
yeah,
it's doing really well. It's amazing to see death metal, proliferating like that.
Man, you bring up college radio, and that actually, that makes me think. The first time I heard you guys, I think I was like 12 or 13 years old. It was 1990, I believe, when you put out the first record. I was living in Maryland, and we had a local FM station that was run by a local college, and it was called The Underground. And they played all kinds of metal stuff that you would not see on MTV or anything else. And that was like my main hub for finding shit, especially at that age. But I remember they played Sacrificial Suicide and the title track Deicide, and I tape recorded it, and I was just fucking blown. That was like the first real death metal I think that I had heard at that point too. And thanks to fucking college radio, man.
Thanks to college radio, I agree. I came up in New Jersey in the 80s, early 80s, and same thing out there. There's a college station coming out of, I don't know, wherever the college was. But we were picking it up in Freehold. WSOU it was.
Hell yeah.
And midnight show, they would play all the heaviest stuff. Like I said, Anthrax and Slayer were kind of new back then, so it was like they were playing that stuff, Metallica stuff, and even more underground stuff. Like I said, we're talking 83, 4, 5, like that, And man, college radio does a lot of service for the metal community. They're getting that stuff out there to people. And so, like I said, right now, the new album is doing great. It's great to see something like college radio persists and is still thriving out there. It helps a lot.
Yeah, man. This record is number 13, right?
Yeah. For college, I think, like I said, it moved up to number 2 or number 6 or something like that. I got a text about it yesterday.
No. I mean, like, how many albums you guys have put out? This is your
oh yeah,
13th.
It's our 13th album. That's right. Which it's a lot of records. Honestly, it took a long time to put all that stuff out, but looking back, it's like that is quite a stack of material we've accrued.
Yeah, it is. I was looking at Wikipedia, and it actually says you guys started in 87 under a different name of Carnage, and that you guys were playing Slayer, Exodus, Dark Angel covers. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I think it's more like 86.
Oh, shit.
86, early 87, and then in 87, that kind of fell apart just because we lost the place to jam, and it kind of fell apart. And from there, we got together with Eamon around '87, and that kicked off the whole Deicide thing, where we just went to doing originals and dropped the whole playing covers thing.
So I got to ask, like, how did you guys transition from the thrash stuff to the death metal that you were doing? Because I mean, or was it just natural?
Yeah, well, it kind of seemed natural to me. I think it was just once the vocals took that turn, it kind of became death metal, because we kind of were just modeled ourselves after Slayer a lot. And we really loved Rain and Blood. And then when South of Heaven came out, and, so the song South of Heaven kind of had that slow down thing. Mm-hmm. It was like, well, here's our chance to kind of step in and do the faster thing and kind of take that, keep that aspect of it going. And then from there, we just kind of evolved. Because, like I said, in the cover band, learning Slayer songs, Dark Angel songs, for all, to kind of help us learn our chops, get our chops up to, grade, so we could start taking on writing our own stuff,
Hell yeah, man. Well, speaking of tempos, dude, like, you guys have some insane fucking speeds, man. I mean, you always have, dude. Like, and you're the drummer, so sitting behind the kit that whole time, man, what's that? I don't know. I guess you're just used to it, though, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good at workout. And like I said, I've been playing extreme drums like this since I was 16, 17. So kind of my cardio and that kind of physicality I've developed as my body was even maturing, into adulthood from being a teenager. So I kind of went into adulthood already being cardiovascularly pretty tip-top shape, because hell, we play for an hour and 5 or 10 minutes now, and it's no cakewalk, and but I'm managing to keep it up even at this my ripe old age of whatever it is. I'm getting up there, and I haven't noticed any real problems keeping going yet. But I'm taking a little better care of myself now than I was even 5 years ago. Because you kind of have to, you do notice a difference, partying too much, drinking too much takes an effect on like your heart and cardio. So, chill out on that a bit, bring everything back up to top optimum performance, and keep this train rolling. That's what I'm all about. Fuck
yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Now, you guys do have one song in your catalog that I can think of that actually is kind of slow, and it's one that I always laugh about. I always tell my friends, I'm like, this is their ballad right here, man. Fucking The Gift That Keeps On Giving. I love that track too, by the way, man. It's so fucking heavy. But when you guys play that one, is that difficult for you to slow down and play that, or?
Yeah, that's an interesting song. I like that song too. They used that in The Sopranos, one of the episodes in there. And it's kind of off in the background. But like I say, the guy who chooses all the songs, the main show creator, David Chase, like he personally picks all the music they use in the show. And he picked that one. I don't know how or why, but he picked it. And, rumors he was a drummer himself back in his high school days or whatever. And instead of joining a band, he became a writer, whatever. Anyway, pick that song. Like I say, you like that song. And playing that song, we played that without a click track. So kind of the drop, when you go to the slow part, it dropped even a little slower than it should have compared to the fast part. So it's kind of breathing in that sense. So yeah, when you're going from fast to slow chops like that, you do kind of have to guide yourself into being that slow and sludgy. It's kind of easy to play fast, when you're used to it, and a little more tricky to play slow and do it accurately. It's like you gotta watch it just as much as you do playing fast. It's interesting how that works.
I can imagine, man. Now, another thing that I love about Deicide is, and I don't think you guys get enough credit for it, honestly. I mean, a lot of people, when they think of you guys, they think of the imagery and the whole fucking the satanic stuff and all that shit, which is badass too. But you guys always have a fucking groove in your sound, you know, like it's not just, I mean, it's fast and it's brutal and shit, but you do always have, like, there's a groove in there, like you can move to it, you know what I mean? Is that is that something that you guys consciously do, or is it just?
You know, I think it just kind of comes down to my particular style of playing. You know, like I said, I grew up in the 80s and was playing drums long before death metal, or, you know, even before Slayer and Metallica came out. You know, I've been playing drums since 82, you know, and so I was playing to old Priest and old Maiden and old Kiss songs, and, you know, you got to find a groove, you know, because they're, you know, and so playing in the more extreme types of metal, as that developed, you know, when you're right at the forefront of it, you can kind of see where all the influences are coming from. Like I say, there were only so many metal bands in the 80s, you know, 20, 50, maybe. Now there's hundreds of bands. Hell, there's 100, you know, 50 or whatever. I don't know the number. It's just the different styles of extreme metal, you know. They're kind of all similar, but for some reason there are differences in them which can be categorized. But yeah, as far as groove, I don't know if there is groove metal, but I think that's just kind of how you interpret. Like, I think it's because we have parts that are, you know, as far as your hi-hat and snare beat tempo, it's slow. But the fact that it's fast double picking and fast double bass underneath, kind of carrying it, it's kind of fast and slow at the same time. I think that's where we're able to kind of capture those grooves, because, you know, you can articulate kind of the part more at a slower pace and provide that backbeat that is the groove. You know, I suppose everything being a blast or a fast skank beat, you know, you can kind of play around with those as well. But yeah, you know, there's just our style of approaching it, I think, that brings a particular groove. Not everyone has it, you know.
Yeah. And it's always tight as hell too, man. You guys are always tight as fucking hell, man. I've seen you guys live a few times too, man, and you always pull it off live too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, like I said, we stay on our game. I personally stay on top of the playing. You know, tightness is everything. You got to stop and start on a dime. And, you know, everyone's got to be playing the right part. I have to be matching the part with my drum parts. And, you know, everyone has their place to be where they are when they need to be there. And that's what death metal is all about. It's accuracy, tightness, heaviness, groove, you know, and doing it concisely and efficiently and in an exacting manner, you know. It's my approach, anyway, you know.
Well, yeah. I want to ask you a little bit about the studio process on this record, because I mean, it's a great sounding album too. You know, like the dynamics in it, the production of it, the mix. It sounds very close to what you guys sound live. And I know you guys did some things differently with Jeremy Kling, and can you tell us a little bit about that? What that was like?
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, we sound pretty realistic to our albums when we play live, and I think when we approached this, recording this album, we took that approach to it, because, you know, Jeremy is our live sound man, and we used his stuff at his place to track the record. So, you know, we tuned up the kit and we checked it and we approached it just like rocking out, you know. The guys used their same guitars and amps and heads and cabinets and tone as they do as live, you know. Same with Glenn, you know. We just did everything just like we do live. And, you know, so that had a lot to do with capturing that essence, you know. Like I said, with the drums, there wasn't a whole lot of punching in and kind of playing with it. You know, I recorded the drums in a pretty quick manner, you know, I did 3 one-take sessions, you know, of each song. So, you know, 1 day's time and the drums were done. That's why it has that live feel, because it was basically captured live, you know. It wasn't tampered with or enhanced a lot with Pro Tools or in the studio. Not a whole lot of studio patchwork went into it. You know, like developing tones in the mix and all that, sure, you know, but But the playing and the tracking, no, that was as live as possible as we could keep it, you know. So that helps a lot, you know. You can feel that live energy in the record because that's how it was done, you know.
Yeah, you really can. And, like, I mean, as soon as I got it, man, I was blasting it in my truck, and I noticed right away that I could hear everything. Like, I could hear Glenn picking the bass. I could hear everything that you were doing on the drums. I could hear all the guitars, you know, and it's just fucking cool, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, it's a good listen. Like I said, listening to it myself, I like hearing the cymbals being so distinct and differential. Like in earphones, you can kind of hear them and coming in from different spaces on the left and the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like very well recorded and mixed, and you know, it was real pleasure to hear the finished product. It's like, wow, amazing. You know, I shocked myself. I'm shocked every time we finish an album. It's like, wow, that was a lot of work from start to finish, and then hearing the finished product when it comes out this well, it's really satisfying. It's like, wow, that came out way better than I expected or hoped. You know, that's a nice feeling. You know.
Fuck yeah, man! These videos that you guys have been putting out for this record are really cool too, man. Can you tell us about that? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, you know, it was just we wanted to take a more aggressive approach to getting the record out there, and so we had some money left over from recording, and we said, let's put it toward making some videos. And so the label knew David Brodsky, hooked us up with him, and we shot the band footage. It was about one song a day, so we were with him for 3 days, and then he did, the accessory footage, whatever you call it, of actors and locations like that. He did that. Watching it come together is really cool. And like I said, he has a great vision for metal like that, and he's really cool to work with. And like I said, he had the special effects where they brought in the Jesus, like that corpse of Jesus was this chick who worked special effects on some show on HBO, and she's like, oh yeah, this show has been on some other, this zombie, the corpse dummy has been on like this other show, and after this she was taking it to go be on some other show. So it's like she's getting multiple uses out of that corpse. You guys see if you can spot it on The Walking Dead or whatever it is that she worked on. And like that, everyone was really cool. And the videos came out really great. It's cool to have, it's a cool thing to have in your catalog, and look back on. And I'm glad people are enjoying them. It's really helping get the word out. It really drives up excitement around the release. But first is not having one, and we were able to do 3 this time, which was huge. Most we ever got was 1, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a nice thing to have happen.
Yeah, it's fucking badass, man. Love it. So you guys have you got Milwaukee Metal Fest coming up. Anything else?
Well, yeah, the record came out. We're hitting this show in Milwaukee. We're playing Louisville, Kentucky the next night after Milwaukee. I think it's a Sunday. It's kind of we're on our way. We're just we're not flying in. We're going to drive up to Milwaukee. It's not part of a tour or anything. So on our way back, like I said, we're going to stop in Louisville on the way back down. After that, we're going to hit Europe and some festivals and some other shows this summer. And then I think the U.S., we're in the fall, U.S. and Canada tour. And then in the winter, we're going to do Mexico and South America. And then next spring, we're going to go to Europe for like 2 months. So we're already booked into 2025 and just, waiting for things to really pick up. And, it should be a pretty great year. Looking forward to a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to play a lot of the new records live, so it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fun time.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, well, Steve, I guess I'm about out of questions for you, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for their interest and support over the years. We've been around a long time, and I hope everyone digs the record and can make it out to the shows. And just, thanks to everybody, and thank you, Zach, for having me on today.
Hey, man, anytime. Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
Yeah, of course.
All right, whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Steve from Deicide, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
This is Steve from Deicide. You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio, so turn it up.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to me, Steve. I really appreciate it. And
sounds great, brother. I appreciate it very much.
All right, man. You guys have a great show. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
I hope so too, brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Later.
Later.